Hello, everybody. This is Attorney Jay Carter from the Carter Law Group, and welcome back to my very special series on intellectual property. Today, we'll be discussing what exactly is likeness, aka the right of publicity. So, the right of publicity, just briefly, is an intellectual property right. And a lot of times people think intellectual property, they think of trademarks and copyrights. Likeness is actually very close to trademarks, but likeness actually focuses on the misappropriation of your name or your likeness. So either your nickname, your actual name, your signature, a photo of you, an image of you, even your voice. So now let's discuss when the right of publicity, aka likeness, goes wrong. It goes wrong when a third party comes in and uses someone else's image, typically a celebrity or someone that's well known, to promote their products and services, to sell them, to monetize them. We've seen this with Kendall and Kylie Jenner using the likeness of Tupac and Biggie on t-shirts that they tried to sell. That was a big no-no. We've even seen it recently with George Floyd in a video game in Iran, where the game is, his image is used in a game where you're supposed to save him from being killed. Again, there was no permission given for that video game. Now let's discuss when the right of publicity is used in the correct way. So the best example I can give you is endorsement deals, right? So the right of publicity is going to allow a celebrity or influencer, someone that's very visible, to monetize their likeness with a third party that particularly probably has some sort of product or service that they're endorsing. So let's start with food, because food is a huge one. McDonald's is the leader in this. They have several meals partnering with very celebrity likeness. They've had a Travis Scott meal. They had a Saweetie meal. Now they have a Mariah Carey Merry Christmas meal. So that's a perfect example of partnering with food. We even have Megan Thee Stallion with her Popeyes. Another interesting industry where you see likeness is the sports industry. The infamous Tom Brady and NFL Super Bowl champion actually is coming out with his own line of sports clothing and apparel. And he's using NCAA champions to be his brand ambassadors in the advertising campaigns for this line. This is equally interesting because just recently did courts rule that college players could actually use their likeness and monetize it before going to the NFL. Prior, you were not able to do that. And so now they're actually able to monetize themselves being popular athletes before they enter the NFL. So them partnering with Tom Brady is a great start to this. Then there's NFL player Odell Beckham Jr., who's partnering his likeness with the infamous company Cash App. They are doing a marketing campaign giveaway this season, giving away $1 million in Bitcoin. You heard it, $1 million in Bitcoin they're giving away. He's even taken it a step further and is now only accepting his NFL income and marketing income in Bitcoin only. So he is definitely on the way. Then there's the gaming industry that has long used NBA and NFL players' likeness for video games such as Madden. They're moving over into tapping into other highly visible people, like reality stars like Kim Kardashian has several video games with a major video game company using her likeness. So definitely this wave of likeness and monetization with highly visible, famous people is definitely not stopping anytime. Next up, clothing lines. There have been several clothing lines that have quickly figured out the best way to sell their clothes is to partner with a celebrity's face, right? Put a celebrity's face on it. Fashion Nova, who literally, their whole line literally launched on Instagram, and primarily their sales come from Instagram, figured out if they partner with a celebrity like a Megan Thee Stallion or Saweetie or Jordan Woods, that their clothes would sell, and they are absolutely correct. You also have high-end lines like Fendi that have partnered with people like Nicki Minaj to do whole lines of clothing. I think Megan Thee Stallion has also partnered. And let's not forget Beyonce, the queen herself. She has a long-term partnership with Adidas, where she has a whole collection called We Are RV Park, where she's selling various Adidas lines of clothing through that collection. And her face and likeness are all over it. And let's not forget the late, great Nipsey Hussle, who obviously was a great rapper, but was more known to be a businessman, an entrepreneur. Right before his death, he used his infamous trademark phrase, "The marathon will continue to launch marathon clothing." And he has a long-term partnership, even in death, with his name, his likeness, his trademarks, with Puma. So again, another example of how your legacy will continue on with the right of publicity, even when you're not here. Then there's also makeup. Again, I think that's the obvious product to partner with someone's likeness, since someone's face has to be used for the makeup. You have the infamous Nicki Minaj, who's one of the first, maybe only rappers to partner with a major makeup line. She partnered with MAC when she first released her first couple of albums. So MAC has partnered with Nicki Minaj. I think since Nicki Minaj, there's also been Saweetie who's partnered with them. So makeup is also another way that third parties or companies can partner with highly visible people to promote their makeup. Last but not least, we have shoes. Various shoe collections, shoe designers have partnered using various celebrity likeness to promote their shoe lines. The perfect example is Shoe Dazzle. They've used a lot of reality stars like Erica Jane and Christine from Selling Sunset recently to push their shoe collection. And then taking it back some for the kids that used to stand in line for Jordans, my niece being one of them. Michael Jordan actually is one of the biggest faces with a shoe collection. And believe it or not, he's actually made more money with selling shoes than being a basketball player. So now you have the right way and the wrong way to use the right of publicity, whether it be your own likeness or another party's. And I just want to leave you with this note. Why is this important? Why is it important to understand likeness? It's important because, again, it is an intellectual property right. It's just as if, you pass away and you leave a house and someone else is using the house instead of your family. Your likeness, if you become a visible person, whether a celebrity or online influencer, you're actually leaving this property right behind to expand your legacy, but also so that your family can continue to benefit from it in the future. With that being said, I hope you have learned now all the nuts and bolts of what you need to know about likeness. Please stay tuned for my next videos.